Hi friends, my name is Haley Comet. Welcome to my little cosmic corner of the internet. This week we're talking about the moon sign in astrology, particularly how our moon sign is the key in our lives and in our birth chart for self-care. Moon archetype in astrology is associated with mothering because it can describe our actual mother, another maternal figure, but more importantly, how we as children learn skills to cope and deal with upsetting things that were going on. So in life, our moon sign kind of describes what it is we can emotionally feed ourselves in order to feel better and nurtured. So we'll be dissecting each of the moon signs in your birth chart to understand what it is that you can give to yourself to make yourself feel emotionally fulfilled and nurtured. So starting with Aries moon. If your moon was in the sign of Aries when you were born, know that first and foremost, a key need that you need to give yourself is space. And I'm not talking like physical space, but space within your life. If you think about fire, because Aries is a fire sign, it needs room to catch on to things and to expand and to purify areas around it. Aries moons are not individuals who can be confined to monotonous environments. It will make them feel very restless. Aries has a lot of energy. They need space in their lives. So this could be space in their social calendar to try new things or to go new places. It could be space in their job to be able to try on different tasks or meet with different people. There is a key need for some freedom and some space for them to expand. There's also a key need to be authentic. With Aries, it's the first sign of the zodiac and it symbolizes the child in astrology. So if you think about children, they're very, very forthright. They are not fake. They are very honest. If you've ever been humbled by a 3-year-old who told you straight up that you were ugly, first of all, I feel you. And second of all, that's kind of Aries energy. They're very straight up. They will not be fake with you. So with the Aries moon, it's a key need for them to be in accordance with their own moral guidelines. It will radically disservice you as Aries moon for you to put on a face or for you to go against your intuition or something that you feel internally. Authenticity is huge, and being able to stand by what they say and stand by their instinctual reactions. Aries is a sign that is ruled by Mars. So by extension, your moon is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of action. So when it comes to the emotional aspect of the moon, it's almost like emotions hit instantaneously and you might feel the urge to react right away. And I've found typically Mars is the planet associated with anger. I've found often that Aries moons respond first with anger and then they realize that there's other emotions underneath. Like, okay, I was angry, but I was actually sad and confused and disappointed. But anger is what bubbled to the surface first. As an Aries, when a strong emotion arises, it's like a firework. It needs to go somewhere. So I would just suggest, as a technique for you to self-soothe, find avenues for you to express those instinctual emotions in a way that isn't destructive. If you aren't finding ways to channel, because as I mentioned, it's a very energetic sign, find ways to channel your energy into things that are more constructive. Maybe it's when you're upset, go to a kickboxing class and get out some of that pent up energy. Maybe it's when you're upset, like someone tells you something, rather than yelling at them and like kind of just exploding, saying, I'm gonna come back to you, I need to go for a run, I'll see you later. Or like archery, just something, you have a lot of energy, Aries moons, and if it's pent up, and if something emotionally agitates you, it could result in yelling and being, unreasonable or impatient. Let's not forget, Aries is the archetype of the toddler, and I'm not shading you guys at all by saying you're petulant kids, but sometimes if you do not find better ways to channel those emotions, it can kind of skew that way. There might have been a message in childhood as an Aries moon that it was dramatically important to take care of oneself. And so Aries moons, it could have been that their mother, another maternal figure, taught them, you need to be independent. And mom herself could have been someone who was a go-getter or ran the household or took care of all the chores or handled the money or really instilled in their child that it is important for you to go out and get things done, to be independent, to not rely on anyone but yourself. So Aries have a key need for independence. They won't really deal with trying to put on a face to make other people happy. Like I mentioned, authenticity. So they'd rather be independent. They'd rather do things their own way. So it is a key need for Aries moons to be independent. I'm not saying they need to be solitary whatsoever, but to know that they've got themselves. So if you're an Aries moon, I would also say learn practical skills that will come in handy. An Aries who feels like they need to rely on someone is likely to be a little bit of a depressed Aries. So learn how to change a tire, learn how to fix your dishwasher, learn how to do things in your life, because it'll enhance this kind of toolbox within your soul that wants you to be independent and be self-sufficient. I touched on this earlier, but with Mars, planet of action and movement, it's super essential for you to have somewhere that you dispel excess energy. Kickboxing, I keep saying that, Taekwondo, just something where you're able to kind of let go of that energy so it doesn't go into just more destructive avenues. I would also recommend something that's not so monotonous, probably not like treadmills or things where it's the same, things that have a degree of variability, or even better, competitiveness. Aries, you may not want to admit it, but you all have a tendency to want to win, and there's nothing wrong with that. Feed that part of yourself. Find competitions that are more healthy for you, so that need to kind of compete doesn't manifest in other ways. Like if you can find avenues for yourself to compete, maybe you love to write and you love to kind of healthily compete with your writer friends on who can get the most clicks to their articles or whatever it may be, rather than allowing that energy to skew into getting unreasonably competitive with your friends over who dresses the best or who has the best money. Find avenues for your competition, your competitive side, to kind of take place so it doesn't filter over into other elements of life. And Aries moon, my last kind of tidbit I want to leave with yourself is to thine own self be true. I said earlier that authenticity is something key that you need to give yourself. And with any sign in astrology, there is such beauty in it if you kind of own it and just understand how to work with yourself. So listen to your intuition, give yourself space to change your mind. You're instinctually drawn to beginnings. Give yourself permission to start things, and they don't necessarily always need to end. I had an Aries moon roommate, and she always was starting projects. She was an artist, and like one corner of my apartment would have sticks for a sculpture, and one section would have clay, and then the other was like a canvas that she was working on. There was like a lot of energy going all around, and the projects were never really finished because Aries is a sign that is drawn to beginnings and not always that great with follow through, but it's a way to keep like your energy moving. The opposite of depression is creativity. So creating things could feed your energy and give yourself permission to not finish them. Just the idea of novelty and newness and new areas to burn. Remember, fire sign, new areas to burn or new parts of life to explore feeds an Aries moon. So give yourself permission to try new things, to try your hand at finger painting, even if you don't know if it'll be good, to do things that just make you feel young and playful and free, because there is that element to you. And you could have, as a child, really fed yourself with that sense of playing, creating, just being, honoring your inner child. And that part of you is still alive to this day. And it's even more important since you're Aries moon, it's a sign of the child. So Aries moons, I'd love to hear what techniques you could share for self-care in regards to your moon sign. Taurus moon will be next week. If you enjoyed this video, if you could like, subscribe, and turn the little bell notification on so you don't miss any of your signs. And until we meet again, stay cosmic.